Yo, Elliott. King, warrior, magician, lover. So, what do we have? Thinkers, magician mind, living in the existential, living in the mind, living in the thought world, the symbol world. Keyboard warriors are no warriors at all. They're magicians, magical, mystical stuff through the tapping of keys. Woo. And you know what? It's real. Because all you need is a keyboard warrior to type in the right keys with his magical fingers, and you know what he could do? Touch you. We have the positive and negative aspects of each of these. So I'm kind of harping in on the negative right now, because when we speak of the negative, then it's much easier to draw contrast. So we got the thinker, the magician. We have the feeler, the lover, right? You know what the feeler is in its perverted form? The feeler is an addict. Robert Moore says, wherever there is an addiction, there is a wounded lover. Because it's that sense of comfort that we get from addiction to what? Weed, right? I'm familiar with that one. Or alcohol, or video games, or pornography and jerking off, scrolling through screens and the dopamine hits that are associated with all the things that keep us trapped. And then we have the wounded warrior, right? We have the unresourceful warrior. And when the warrior doesn't have a higher calling, when he doesn't have a devotion, when he's not devoted to the transcendent other, then he's a mercenary. He's just working for the sake of working, just to beat himself up, to make him think that he's getting somewhere. But then you also have the guy who doesn't get anything done at all, right? We have the negative aspect of each of those too, right? And then finally, the king. And so the reason why I took a step back before getting to the being aspect is because the king is so damn mystical that he wears a crown that points up. The crown points up so that it can draw down, because it is through the king that blessings pour into the world. The king aspect is your generative aspect. The king is the ordering aspect. But you might say, well, then don't I have to do stuff? Don't I have to think through? Shouldn't my emotional body be associated in this through passion to create order? And I say no. I say no. The way you know the king is through the negative of the first three. You know you're accessing your inner king and you're being a conduit for God when you're not thinking. That's why I'm not thinking today. I'm just spitting. The king is not feeling, because feelings pervert. Like I said before, can you get to the truth if you're too focused on the chemical cascade of dopamine and serotonin in your brain? You can't think straight. Emotions cloud reality. They cloud your thinking. And if your thinking and feeling are perverted, then what you do is of no use. To tap into the king, to tap into being, to draw down celestial power, God power, blessings from above, we got to get out of the way. We got to get our three lower bodies out of the way. We got to get our fallen nature out of the way. There's no king where there's an addiction. There's no king where there's anxiety. There's no king where there's overthinking. There's king only where there is being. And how do you know when you're being? Because you're not thinking, you're not feeling, and you're not doing. Yo, Elliott.